Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss Canada's Drag Race, Season 5, Episode 5. Yeah, Episode 5. We're totally gonna review this episode. Are you ready?
Oh my god. Totally gagged me out.
Oh
Sure.
my gosh, oh. If you can't tell from, well, obviously you must have watched the episode before you came here. It was
I was
not.
hopeful.
It was 90s week here in Canada's Drag Race. What did you think of the episode altogether?
This was a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
This was a really fun episode.
Yeah.
The clothing choices were.
And part of me feels like the queens knew, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's actually get into it. So we start off after Sanjana's elimination. They come in, read her message. They wipe it away, sit down, and congratulate Uma for winning that lip sync. They then congratulate Minnie, and she explained why she chose Michaela, which, I would have chose her too. And we get our first hint that it's 90s week with the title screen. We got the play button right there. It sounded like it was on a VCR. And then this whole Canada's Drag Race logo here.
Using the Saved by the Bell font.
And then they threw a Friends reference with the one where they went 90s. I was like, this is so freaking cute. And this is the part that makes me think they knew at least it was a 90s theme, because majority of them are really giving 90s in their attire. And I also got this screenshot to show the nameplates as well. Hold on, zoom in to where they can see it. I really thought this was really cute. The nameplates, and even where you saw the executive producers and whatnot, you see the
They
font.
Changed the font.
Yeah.
So that it looked like the Full House and
Yes.
other font.
I love the little things that they did for this episode. So the alarm goes off and Rue gives the message, and by the way the message went, you could tell it was girl group week. Tracy Melshore comes in and was like, for a mini challenge you need to get in quick drag, and they're selling us stuff, but giving very much QVC. I'm not sure if Canada had something different than QVC up there.
Mm-hmm. I think they were supposed to be more Vanna White or the models from The Price is Right, but they were giving more QVC than anything.
Yeah. I thought this was funny, especially, oh my god, Uma was hilarious here.
I like Uma without the little line under her.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought it was good to see something different, but I'm like, if that's Uma's signature thing, I'm not going to be the one to tell her not to.
Yeah, I mean...
But yeah, I thought this was a really fun mini challenge, and Tracy agreed with us, and Uma was the winner. So, she announced...
Well, she's the only one who knew what the Thigh Master was.
Yeah, I was like, now I know I'm not that old, but I know what the Thigh Master is.
I'm like, Suzanne Summers only died 15 years ago.
Ugh, my Suzanne, that hurt me when that news broke out. I was like, what do you mean? No. Who...
But, and it's so crazy that I'm old enough to know that she's the one who used to spokesperson the Thigh Master.
Yeah. Well, I knew that, but I grew up around my granny. So I know a lot of older references because of her. That's why we're able to communicate a lot of times, because I know those older references that my granny passed down to me.
But you in the throat. Not that old. Even though all this gray around the perimeter of my head says otherwise. I have the am not. Am not.
But for the Maxi Challenge, they're totally going what if, and we're doing girl groups. And they get to assign their own girl groups. Michaela and Virgo smart, because I would have done the same thing. I would have ran to them. I'm like, hey, we are partners. And I love how Perla was on the other side at first, and she was like, "Well, I'm gonna jump over here with them. Forget y'all. Shit, I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to be on the winning team. Okay."
Right.
So the teams ended up being Xana, Michaela, Perla, and Virgo, and then Jaylene, Minnie, Uma, and Helena. Now, with Uma winning the mini challenge, she got to choose which song each group got. Uma better than me because I would have went for the knot track. But if you think about it, these queens, I think it was the appropriate song choice for them. Because if they would have got the knot track, maybe Helena would have done good in it. I don't think the others would have done good being like that mean girl, you know. The Regina George of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we sit down, we watch them write their lyrics. We see our extra special guest judge, Simone Denny, who I didn't realize I knew who she was until this episode. It wasn't until the lip sync song started playing, I'm like, oh, I do know this lady. I do know her. Because I'm like, oh, cool. She's part of the, the dance music, Canada. Cool. They had their own dance music. Love that for them. And then the song started playing. I'm like, oh, no. I know this. I know this. But yeah, so Simone was there. The queens came and recorded their verse. Then they went out to do their choreography. I wish somebody would have been there to help them with that. I mean, Michaela and Virgo did really good for their team. But the other team... So, let's get to the main stage. Up first, we have our hostess with the mostest. It's like totally Brooklyn Heights.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Like, was she gagging or no?
Oh my God. Like, she was so totally fetch. God, that made me want to throw up so bad.
But what did you think of her?
Why is 90s associated with Valley Girl? I'm confused.
I don't know. But honestly, if you think about a lot of the shows from the 90s, it always has some sort of Valley Girl on the cast.
I mean, okay. Granted, Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley Girl Twins, Babysitter's Club.
90210, Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills 90210, Saved by the Bell.
They all had one of those, like, oh my God, whatever made
oh
you
my
loser.
God. Oh, Lisa Turtle. I kind of miss him.
You miss him?
Why do I miss that client who used to go around and call every black woman, you look like Lisa Turtle?
I don't know. We'll talk later, because I don't even think I know who you're talking about.
He might have left before you worked there. No, I think you worked there, but you were on...
When I first started, I was on my home, and, since I was working with the elderly, I didn't really escape that
and
circle.
he was on the opposite side of the campus.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Can't say names.
Yeah.
I almost said it, and I was like, wait, I can't say that. They made us
sign a confidentiality contract thing, which in my opinion, I'm like, is this an NDA?
Yes.
But yeah, I signed a confidentiality.
I got in trouble. I got a whole write-up because I put it in an essay that was on campus that accidentally got sent to Denton.
But yeah. So what did you think of Brooklyn and what's your score?
She totally got an A.
Honestly, this gets like an A+ for me. This was very, very hot.
Yes.
Like so hot.
Dad, if I was Cher Horowitz, it would be like, so I totally negotiated my C up to an A.
Don't ask me how. So
what if I had to sit here and set up my PE teacher and my history teacher so that they could get together?
So this week we're joined by Brad Gorinsky, Tracy Melshore, and our extra special... I messed up. I usually do that perfectly. Our extra special guest judge, Simone Denny.
I love the hat.
Oh, the hat is everything.
is giving very Queen Bee right now.
The hat is everything. I love
even
it.
even though I'm pretty sure it's more of a Queen Latifah reference than a Queen Bee reference.
With it being 90s, most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have our first group, duh.
Ah! Why did I go there?
Performed by the Backdoor Girls.
Brad Goreski's giving Rico Suave Marky Mark vibes.
You know who's not? The Backdoor Girls. This was... Thank God. Okay, let me say this. The choreography was not good.
It was mid.
Let's talk about them individually. Jaylene, I didn't particularly care for her verse. And, you know...
We didn't remember her words.
And then she was behind on all the choreography. And maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the choreography didn't seem that hard. Like, it seemed like it would have been something simple for Jaylene to pick up. Because we know she's an older queen that doesn't do all the boom, clack, 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 bam, dip. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there are some older queens that still does all that. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, in this whole episode, and correct me if I'm wrong, did she seem just kind of down the whole episode?
She did.
Like, you could tell she was going through something mentally this episode, through the whole thing. I don't know what was going on with your sister.
Defeated this episode.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. But you can see it all through the mini challenge, all through this challenge. It's just all right there on her face. Like, she had something on her mind that was not Drag Race.
Yeah.
But we move on to Helena Poison. Loved her verse. Her verse probably was one of my favorites of the night.
What is this screenshot?
I know. I'm looking at it now. I don't know what this screenshot is. I thought it was better than that when I did it. But yeah, I'm going to have to say I have to agree with the judges because she was trying to lift up Jaylene. Mm-hmm. It brought her down.
Right.
So, yeah, I understood her placement this week because of that. Oh, I got another screenshot of Helena. I was supposed to delete the other one. That's what, see, this one's a much better one.
That's the one I was looking at, was the much better one.
Yeah. Up next is Minnie Wang. She performed great, but that verse... Baby, why were you singing? You should have gave us a cute little rap verse.
What the blank was up with that?
Could she be any more pitchy? Like, I remember when she started singing with Simone and she was like, oh, I'm like, oh, we're singing. Oh, okay. Okay. And the words weren't bad. Like, it was a cute verse, but it's just you can't sing.
I don't know why. I think it's the camera. Mm-hmm. It keeps, like, going bright and then going dark and then going bright.
I have noticed that. And see, it just went dark again. I have noticed that. But moving on to Uma God. Uma did such a great job. I think Uma was the only one who was just like, good verse, good performance.
Let me have fun.
Yeah. And like, at the end when she's like, wait, are we lesbians? I need to call my mom.
So funny.
Oh, I thought it was so fun, so cute. So now let's move on to the much better group. And that is Not, performed by VMXP. Up first, what was this?
I don't know. I was confused too.
And like, I thought they got it together when they were recording the verse because Simone did say, hey, you're not on the beat. And then we get this. I'm like, oh, so they were never able to get her on the beat, on the flow?
I don't think so.
Oh, no. It was clearly they weren't able to because we saw what we saw.
Right.
We heard what we heard.
Did we hear it though?
Oh, I heard it.
I think it started out bad and I just blanked.
Like, And it just seemed to get worse and worse. And just watching her perform, I'm like, baby, we've seen you lip sync, and you're a decent lip syncer. What's going on here? Like,
I think it's different when somebody else wrote the words.
Or it's different when somebody tells you to do the choreography. Like, I don't know what the tea was here. It wasn't good at all. It was bad.
Why does it look like her boots are unzipped here?
I think the pants are unzipped and the boots go to the ankle. So I think that's what that is. But yeah, let's talk about people who did great. Oh, Michaela Couture!
No notes.
4 + 4 =
8.
And that's what she did. Up next is Perla. Again, no notes. 3 + 5 =
8.
And that's what she did. And then, of course, we have Virgo Queen. Again, no notes. 6 + 2 =
8.
And that's what they did. 8s across the board. Everybody 8.
Everybody 8.
Everybody. Well, not everybody.
Well, not everybody. Look at Michaela's little thick old thighs.
Now, if they would have just put Uma on this team, I think Uma probably could have gave something. But if Dana wasn't on that other team, it would have just been bad all the way through. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I do want to say I was so proud of Perla because, you know, throughout this whole thing, she keeps talking about how she's not a performer. But sis, every time you have to perform,
up a little bit here.
Every time you have to perform, you show out. Because in my opinion, you didn't lose that lip sync between Sanjina, and like that lip sync against Tiffany, again, was just amazing. So it was just like, But yes, sis, get out your head. You're doing great, okay? Honestly, I can see her in the finale. I can. Honestly, block out Xana. I see our top 3. Maybe Uma's right there. Maybe Helena for that 4th person. But the other 3 are these 3 right here.
Yeah.
Now, they couldn't see me, nor could you, but I had my hand covering my computer screen to where I couldn't see Xana.
I know. I'm not stupid. I got the context. I can read the room.
My hand was right here, but there was more for the people at home because I was like, yeah, my hand is up blocking her. But yes, it is now time for the category, and the category is Grunge and Glamour. How would you have approached Grunge and Glamour?
Oh my gosh. Having grown up in the 90s, I would have gave you some version of like The Craft, but blingy.
And for me, I grew up watching wrestling, still watch it to this day. One of my favorite wrestlers, her name is Lita. She gave that grunge-esque type of look. So I think I would have pulled a reference from one of her looks. I can already see the look in my head. And just dragged it up, add probably a little bit more grunge to it. And it would have been a nice nod to one of my favorite wrestlers. Because I always said, if I'm going to go in, I'm going to give nods to my favorite everything. My favorite wrestlers, my favorite singers, my favorite people in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be paying homage left and right. Ooh, my favorite cartoon characters. I know you got to be careful with the copyright. But I'm going to try to make it different enough to where I can still wear it.
Yeah, you know, instead of Daphne having a purple dress and orange hair, it'd be purple hair and an orange dress.
Well, you know, Gigi Good did a Daphne look, and she was able to get that through. And it was still a purple dress. So I feel like there's a thin line for copyright, but as long as I'm on that line.
I do think Hanna-Barbera is a little out of that. They're not like Disney where they keep trying to renew their patent every...
I could do the OG Mickey Mouse if I wanted to, because that's up for grabs.
Yeah, that's not
the
under
OG
copyright
Mickey Mouse,
anymore.
y'all, because I see a lot of people trying to do the OG black and white, driving the ship boat. That Mickey, not the Mickey of today. That one is still copyrighted, y'all. Don't
Don't do Mickey Mouse. Do Steamboat Willie.
Listen, don't do it because Disney don't play. They come for their coins. All right.
Look, because I was like, you guys let Winnie the Pooh expire?
Yeah, from my understanding, they don't have like a different version of Winnie the Pooh. Because like with Mickey, they just trademark a different version of Mickey. I don't think they have a different version of Winnie trademark. They might. I may be wrong. But
no. Well, there's old school Winnie the Pooh, and then there's like the one that they've had pretty much since the 80s. Because old school Winnie the Pooh from like the 40s and 50s was just like the drawing, and he was just orange. But then they upgraded him to where he was like the specific yellow orange with the red shirt. I'm back in my Winnie the Pooh era where I'm starting to get back into Eeyore again.
Same for me, but it's with Tigger, because you know the wonderful thing about Tigger. Because I'm the only one.
I feel like our trip to Disney just kind of like reawakened that in me.
And I love that for you. Because your mine's never died. My love has always been right here.
Like, okay, so like my Eeyore love has always been there. It's been under the surface. But because of so many things going on in my life, I haven't had the opportunity to really just focus on it, trying to grow up, trying to mature, trying to, be an adult.
I'm like, I'm mature, but I still watch Disney. You're not going to tell me my grown ass can't sit here and... Baby, I was the first one to sign up for Disney Plus. You tell me I have access to all of them? Couldn't tell me nothing.
I force my students to watch Phineas and Ferb every day.
Hey, there's 104 days of summer vacation. But anyway, let's get into these looks. Up first, we have the Virgo Queen. What did you think of Virgo and your score?
I liked this. This gets an A from me.
I thought this was really cute. I felt like there was just a little too much glitter. Like, I get it. But I feel like there was just a little too much that it kind of took the grunge out of it. But I still like it. It gets an A- for me. Up next is Perla, A+.
A+.
A fucking plus. My God, upon today and tomorrow, this was everything. Up next is Xana. What did you think of Xana?
She said Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I got more Tiffany from...
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, this gives more Tiffany. And I'm like, maybe Tiffany, if she was said it was a Tiffany reference, it couldn't fly. But if they say Buffy...
Well, considering the fact that those movies are actually early aughts movies, I can see why she couldn't give those that particular reference, because most of that trademarked Dolls movies like started in the 90s, and I do think that the Bride version
franchise started in the 90s. I think.
Yeah, the franchise started in the 90s, like early 90s, if I remember correctly. The franchise started in the early 90s. I do think that the Bride version of that series was in like 99. So she still could have gave that.
But also the category wasn't 90s.
I think they were just kind of
trying to stay in that lane.
Yeah, because of the grunge.
No.
Because grunge is the early 90s. That's a 1993 type thing.
Oh, yeah.
You have 9 Inch Nails and, all those other ones. Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Kurt Cobain.
But what is your score?
This gets an A-.
This gets a B+ for me. I thought it was cute. Up next is Michaela Couture, A+.
A+.
A fucking... I hate the screenshots blurry, but A+.
I got every single reference.
Every single one. I was like, all right, Miss Michaela, you did your research. And I love that. Love that very much.
It was like, okay, she got the saggy pants, then she's got the backwards pants, which brought me to Crisscross, which was the first rap group I ever liked independently.
Fun fact. Jump Jump by Crisscross was the '1 song the day I was born.
Oh God, wait a minute.
Yeah. Because there was that trend on Facebook like years ago, and I'm like, well, let me go look. So I went in Billboard, I typed in my birthday, and yeah, the #1 song the day I was born was Jump Jump by Crisscross. Jump, jump. So moving on to Minnie Wang.
I just aged myself so bad.
You did, but I'm not going to get on you too.
You actually did it. Talking about the year I was born, I was like, oh God. Wait a minute. I was in 3rd grade.
So, Minnie Wang.
Minnie Wang.
What did you think of her 2 looks? Because she did have a reveal.
Right. Well, at first I thought she was giving how come I can't remember her name?
It was very Grace Jones to me. Is that who you were thinking?
Yes, of? Okay. That's what I was saying. It was giving very Grace Jones in the beginning, and I was like, okay, well, if that's a flat top, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, you did it without blackface. So I appreciate that. And then she revealed to this, and I was like, oh, okay.
More of the category. Because when she walked out, I'm like, this isn't giving... I'm like, I guess you could say it's grunge, but not really.
That would be like couture grunge.
But then she took it off, and I'm like, okay.
Now it's the category.
Here we are. I'm with you. So what's your score?
After the reveal, this gets an A-.
Same. A-. Up next is Oh My God and Uma Sis. Sis, girl, what is this? And the sad thing is, technically, she is correct.
Because I'm like, it is very, very Courtney Love, because of that, I give it an A. But
that was gonna be my thing. Like, personally, I don't like this, but it is the category, is what the assignment was asked of. So
exactly,
I agree with the A as well. Up next is Helena Poison. What did you think of Helena?
I'm not the biggest fan of this.
Mm-hmm.
This gets a C for me.
I have to agree with your C. I wish it was completely made out of flannel.
Yeah.
I think that would have gave it more of that grunge that we need from it. Because it's not
Look,
bad.
I would have paid homage to, like, the season 12 Queens opener.
Yes. Oh, our very first season that we covered.
Yes.
And now here we are getting ready to do 17. Wow.
God, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Yeah. But moving onwards, we have Jaylene Time. I thought this was good. It was.
Yeah.
It was
she
lacking
was like, I grew up there.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
it was
we
lacking the glamour part, but it still gave very grunge.
Very grunge.
Yeah, I needed a little bit more glamour.
But right.
I still give it like A-.
Oh, B+.
Yeah. So, out of all these amazing queens here, who had your favorite look? And why?
And why was it Michaela?
Honorable mention Perla, but Michaela Couture, yes. So, we find out, because of the Golden Beaver twist, I'm not going to holler, this should have been judged in teams. I get it. We're doing a Golden Beaver, so we can't really do it unless they were in groups of 3, and there was no way that could have worked. So, in the top, we have Virgo, Michaela, and Perla. In the bottom, we have Xana, Helena, and Jaylene. Do you agree with this top and bottom placement?
Yeah.
I do too. I do. Because Minnie, although she couldn't sing, she did well. She danced. She knew the choreography. Right. The verse was cute. It's just her voice wasn't. And then Uma...
she was confident in what she put out there, regardless of how bad it was.
Yeah, and like Uma, honestly, could have been in the top, but there was nobody I would have took out the top for her to be up there. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
So, we find out that the winner is Michaela Couture. Do you agree?
Yes.
I do as well.
I think any girl group challenge, they're going to give it to her. So that makes what, like 2 or 3 wins now?
Michaela, this is her first one. Virgo has 2 wins.
I thought she won the other rap challenge.
No, that was Virgo. She was in the top 2, remember?
Oh, well, damn.
Remember they lip synced to Pretty Girl Era? But yeah, this is her first win. And in the bottom, we have Xana, Helena, and Jolene. So we come back to the Untucked Lounge, and I quickly want to talk about Uma. Because I felt like Michaela was correct in the way that she was feeling. Because Uma was like, well, we couldn't tell if it was you or Helena in the top or bottom. And you're like, oh, so you didn't think I did good enough to be in the top, period.
That part.
It was a coin flip for you. And I'm like, I feel like this is going to come back. I feel like this ain't the end of this.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I feel like we're coming back to that. But I was so on Michaela's side in this moment. I'm like, yeah, tell her. I'm like, how are you going to sit here? I won. Like, this is supposed to be a great moment. And you're like, oh, I couldn't tell if you were going to be on the top or the bottom. Like, oh, so you thought I didn't
do... F my drag.
Fuck my drag, right? And honestly, Helena should have felt the same way. Maybe because Helena was already in the bottom, so she was like, well, whatever. But if I was Helena, I would have felt the same way too. I'm like... Anyway. So we come back to the main stage. And out of our 3 queens standing here, if you were the winner of this week's challenge, who would you have given the Golden Beaver to?
I probably would have gave it to the same person.
To Helena?
Yeah.
I think I would have gave it to Jaylene. I don't know. It's just, she seems so checked out this whole episode. So I'm like, I'm going to give you a lifeline. I know you already got the beaver once already. But I truly think I would have... Plus, I'm not going to lie to you. If I was there, I probably would have wanted Xana to go home. And I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if Jaylene could send you home. But Helena could send you home. But yeah, I think I would have given Jaylene a lifeline and be like, here, sis. You're safe again. You're safe again. But Michaela chose Helena, which leaves our bottom 2 of Xana and Jaylene. So they lip sync to Here Comes the Sunshine, performed by Love Inc. and Simone Denny. This is when I knew who Simone was. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about Here Comes the Sunshine. Baby, I was just singing along. I'm like, wait, no, I gotta pay attention to the lip sync. Pay attention to
I had to watch it twice too.
Like, pay attention. And honestly, in my opinion, and we can discuss, I think Xana was just doing more of what she did in that girl group challenge. I felt like it didn't really fit the song. And although Jaylene wasn't doing, like, the most, I felt like it was more appropriate for the song choice than Xana.
Right.
Now, how did you feel?
I think I actually agree with you. I agree with your assessment. Because, like I said, I had to watch it twice, and I was trying to figure out, like, because usually I can watch it once, and I already know. But I had to watch it twice, mostly because I was underwhelmed by both performances, if I'm being honest. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it again because there's got to be a reason why I low-key really just wasn't paying attention, or at least I felt like I wasn't paying attention. And so then when I watched it again, and I'm like, no, I'm going to pay attention, and then I'm like, why do I feel like I'm still checked out? I'm watching it. I'm looking at everything that's happening. And I'm still feeling like I'm checked out. Like I don't see anybody giving anything that they need to give for this.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, I do think Jaylene won this. Just by a hair, though. But I completely agree.
The skin of her teeth.
And I think it's just because I felt like Xana was doing not
Extra.
too much. But the judges disagreed, and they decided to keep Xana. Which unfortunately means Jaylene Tom must sashay away. So, after they crush that girl's dreams, they go on and dance on the stage. I got this moment right here when they were...
I thought that grown woman's dreams.
I was like, I love them too. I really do. I love them so much. I need one of them, if not both of them, to win. So we find out that next week they will be doing the Snatch Game. And they're introducing the Wooden Beaver.
Yes.
I'm intrigued. I'm like, what is this Wooden Beaver?
Right?
What power does this have? And I'm like, is this going to take over the rest of the season? Or is it just going to be this one episode? Like, what's the tea? What's the tea? Like, and I'm sitting here trying to think, what could the Wooden Beaver be? Could it be you get to choose? Like, you're the winner of the challenge. Now you choose who the bottom two is.
Ooh.
No? Yeah, maybe. That's the only thing I can really think of. Is that everyone's up for grabs. You choose who's finna lip sync for their life. That'll be a gag. But we'll have to wait and see. Alright, go ahead, Creasha, and tell the children where they can find you.
You can find me at Creasha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, pocket full of bub, mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all soon. Bye.